The WBC just ordered Sebastian, the towering Inferno Fundora, to face his mandatory challenger and none other than Terence Bud Crawford. Now, if this fight does happen, it's going to be a hell of a fight, but they only gave him 30 days to figure out the deal if the fight's going to happen or not. So it's really up to Sebastian Fundora. But I thought Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora were gonna lock horns. Also, in a past interview, I do recall that Sebastian Fundora stated that if he cannot get the Mega Showdown fight with Errol Spence, he would definitely drop the belt. And this fight was supposed to be taking place at the Cowboy Stadium in Texas. And it's either gonna take place later on this year or in the beginning of next year. But that's only if they do not come into an agreement with Terence Crawford. I also do understand that they ordered this fight to happen between Terence Crawford and Fundora, but I don't really think that means anything anymore because Oscar De La Hoya did stated that they ordered Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez, and nothing has ever happened. So, I mean, they could just avoid it or drop the belts not to make this fight happen. But if Sebastian Fundora drops the belts to fight Errol Spence, I really don't think that as a duck. I really think that he will make more money with Errol Spence because Terence Crawford just lost $10 million on his last fight. Well, that's what it was reported to be. And I do understand the pound for pound king. He could be an argument for Terence Bud Crawford. But why are people saying that he is the face of boxing? Last time I checked, the face of boxing made money, and he did lose $10 million for the Riyadh season. And if you really think about it, the faces of boxing for sure is Canelo Alvarez and Gervonta Tank Davis. But if there was going to be a third face of boxing, I would really think it's like Ryan Garcia, because a lot of people know Ryan Garcia and they don't really know Terence Crawford. We know what a lot of people do know Terence Crawford, but there's a lot more people that know Ryan Garcia than Terence Crawford. I mean, the Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis sold $1.2 to $1.4 million, and they both took home over $30 million apiece. I think it was 60-40, 60 for Gervonta Tank Davis and 40% for Ryan Garcia, making Ryan Garcia over $30 million and over $40 million for Gervonta Tank Davis. If that's what I really recall, it was a 60-40 split. And I also do know Terence Crawford wanted guaranteed fights, but I bet you if he would have took the Mayweather route and betting on himself for the pay-per-view numbers, and he would have talked a lot of ish in the beginning of his career, he would have been in a way better place. Not that he's not in a great place, I know he is, because he got a lot of big guarantees. But if he would have betted on himself like Mayweather did and got his money in the back end, I think he would have been making at least like 3 or 4 times more the money that he is making right now. So I really think he wants that Canelo fight to make up for lost time that he did back in those days, that he should have been a lot bigger star than he is right now, because he is barely trying to move up in stardom. I think what triggered his motivation to think like that and get paid in the back end was the Mega Showdown fight between him and Errol Spence. He probably liked those $30 million that he made. So he was like, man, I could probably make a little bit more with Canelo. Well, around the same, I mean, if he can make the same another payday like that, where else is he gonna get a payday like that other than Canelo? The Errol Spence rematch maybe, but Errol Spence did not look the same on that fight. The whole boxing world knows that. But Errol Spence is really not putting any any reasons why he lost that badly. Well, in the end, he did. He said he had cataract surgery, and he was somebody did break his ribs, and I guess he was running uphill on the mountains. But I think he only really talked about the cataract surgery, because I don't really recall a lot of interviews or a lot of promotion from Terence Crawford before the Errol Spence fight. But after he got that taste of money after the Errol Spence fight, he was on every YouTube platform, small or big, it doesn't matter. For like almost a whole 2 or 3 weeks straight, it was Terence Crawford here, Terence Crawford there. he probably loved the fanfare, and I mean, I don't blame him. Who wouldn't? So he was like, yeah, I want to keep doing this, and he was on everybody's platform for like almost a month, I think. Don't get me wrong, Terence Crawford is a hell of a fighter. He is a great fighter at that. But I mean, in the past, I have seen better fighters that are probably more special with better resumes at their age. And I do remember a couple of interviews saying that Terence Crawford did want to become just a champion, and anything on top of that was just a cherry on top. So I mean, becoming a champion just was good enough for him. So he didn't really think anything after that. He said becoming undisputed was just a cherry on top.
Let's go, champ!